Everybody wants to know, when is the Battle Royale coming out? All the rumors, everything that I'm hearing, it's going to be the 28th, but they still haven't actually said it yet. We just got the teaser trailer for Season 1, and at the end of it, everybody is saying that they think this is going to be the Battle Royale. Obviously, this is within Season 1. Maybe it comes later. Season 1 still could be, but you could see here is the fire around the perimeter of the map, which is supposedly what is going to be
War isn't coming.
how the zone closes in.
Here.
This is also supposedly going to be that map we saw the pool in the trailer teaser that they showed at the first multiplayer reveal. Of course, this is the map Eastwood. This is coming with the season update for a multiplayer map as well. We saw some of that gameplay in this very trailer. But that's the tease. This is what everybody's saying is going to be.
War isn't coming.
Quad, you know, you got a 4-man.
Here.
There's also a jet here, which I doubt that's going to be in it, but that's where we're at. Now, there's also, if I go to my X, I put a post out yesterday asking what is the source for this. Because everybody comes to my stream, they're saying it's on the 28th. What do you think about that? And I've seen 10,000 TikToks already saying that it's on the 28th. Everybody, at least on TikTok, is telling everybody it's official. Here we are. They haven't said anything themselves yet. It's been rumored, it's been leaked, and I don't know where it was. So I asked, and let's see where it is. So I got some sources here for us. So I wanted to go over it. I haven't looked at all this yet. I'll do one better. Where have they even mentioned a Battle Royale? This is actually even a better point from Otter. They actually didn't. They mentioned in that first initial leak, not even leak, the tease that they did at the multiplayer event, they never said Battle Royale. The only time they have said Battle Royale to contradict this is on their X page, on the community managers for Battlefield. It was shortly after one of the early events. The community manager, I think his name was Total FPS or something like that. Anyways, it was on X. I showcased that. He basically said that Battle Royale is being tested in labs. And that was the first time that I had seen anybody from Battlefield even say Battle Royale. This is the main leak that I've seen from everybody, though. And what they quote is from Modern Warzone, who was in chat earlier. And I don't know if I even read through all of this. So let's see. I have multiple tweets about it spanning the last few months. Really annoying how most articles mention the rumor, but don't mention where it comes from. The thing is, they do also mention where it comes from, because I have seen him quoted a few times, but they don't mention that it's a rumor. They take it as fact, as if this is an official announcement. To me, so you guys know how I cover stuff, usually if I say official, that is coming from developers. It's coming from an actual first-party source. The developers, community managers, something along those lines. Not, somebody else who's heard something from somebody else from that, which could be a very reliable source. You know, he doesn't say his sources, I'm sure, but he could have a very reliable source within it as well. But when they don't have something official and it's just rumored or whatever, then there's also subject to change. So it may not actually come on it. They might be planning towards it, but then maybe something comes up and they don't even have to say it. That's kind of the benefit of not going public, with them going public saying, yo, here's the release date for it. It's coming on, whatever. Is then they have to retract the statement and say a delay and whatever. But if they never say when it's coming, then they can kind of do whatever the heck they want to do. And they have not said anywhere official. So that's what I was looking for on this post that I did, was where is the official source? Modern Warzone sources, Shadow dropped the 28th. It's rumor, it spread like wildfire. No, and this is what I've been asking on my stream, because I'm not kidding. I've had arguments with people who have been coming to my stream telling me it's on the 28th. They go type it into Google and they said, Google AI says it's the 28th zone. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Now ask the AI, where is the source for that? All sources lead back to something that's not official. If you've got any official thing, if you've seen a community manager mention it, if you've got any hard evidence, I would love to see it. That's all my point is, though. It very well probably is coming on the 28th. And if you guys have been watching my stream, you've heard me say this 10,000 times. So I apologize, but I think there's just a lot of information out. Source, trust, bro. Trust. So, anyways, this is I think the root of all of it. This has 1 million views, 1,000 likes on it. Battlefield 6 is currently planned to launch on the 28th, 18 days after the launch of the game. The date is subject to change as always, especially with the BR currently. You see, even in his own post, he says it's subject to change, especially with the BR currently in Battlefield Labs. Now, there is incentive to do a post like this, right? Because it gets 1 million views if you're the first to break it. Now, think about all those sources that have been leading back to him. Everybody's talking about it. There's a lot of benefit to even, and I've seen clips, even outside of this, I've seen clips that have 100,000 views, million views, maybe not 1 million, but at least hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok with people saying, this is the official information. It's officially blah, blah, blah. It's out. Anyways, this looks to be the original thing. He said original reports that were widely published had BR set for months after launch, but I was always told the plan was for the Battle Royale to arrive shortly after the launch, not months later. Recently got enough to post publicly about it, but have always been told the rumors were inaccurate. COD needs something big. This is back in September as well. So that's a while ago, but there's one other update that we have on this that he mentioned on the stream here. Breaking. So this is an hour ago. A new content drop for Battlefield 6 that is not Season 1, codename granted, will release on October 28th, has been data mined from the EA app. Mind you, we're like 5 days away from the launch of this thing as well. Think it's safe to say that the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale is coming when they haven't said anything about it yet. It's not on the app. They haven't told us the release date. Thanks to one Battlefield for sending this information over to me. He said, this is the actual screenshot for y'all. I didn't want to risk it being removed copyright strike from my page. Well, I don't want to really risk getting copyright striked either. So you guys can look at that yourself. I don't even know what code looks like. So there's no, I've made a couple apps with AI so far, but I don't really know how any of that works. So if you guys want to see that, you can. I'm not going to risk getting DMCA'd. But let's just go over that. For what it's worth, I believed you from day one. What day is it going to come out? Of course, it's going to be a big week, assuming a standalone app. There was more that I saw that people were talking about on this, though. Eastwood map. The Battlefield 6 Season 1 cover art is teasing the upcoming Battle Royale in 2 days as well. The background is of LA, but it isn't Eastwood map. The Chinook helicopters in the background aren't used in multiplayer, only in the Battle Royale. Yeah, those aren't in multiplayer. That's actually true. These helos. Those would be kind of cool if they were, though, no? Cap, Caney, Outcast, thank you as well, man. Out of 1 to 10, how much are you enjoying Battlefield? I'm at like an 8.3 is what I said in my video reviewing everything. And I go into a lot of detail on maps, modes, everything for it. There's still, I think, a lot of room for it to grow, but there's also risk of that going down when I play the campaign as well. I haven't played the campaign either yet. Don't expect anything Battle Royale related in today's Season 1 trailer for Battlefield 6. The BR launch is planned for the 28th, still has been, and will be shadow drop similar to Warzone with a trailer the day before, per my previous reports, which are still accurate to my knowledge. For those concerns and questions about why this wouldn't have been in the Season 1 trailer, I think the main reason is that they still want to make more money off of it, and then they still can delay it. So, yeah. Probably on the 28th. I think we got to get ready for it, guys. I don't know what else to say. We got to get some unlocks done, right? Just in case we need to have stuff unlocked for custom guns or something. Because who knows? We literally don't know anything outside of that, which is crazy to even say when it's supposed to be out 5 days out from now. But that's what happened when they released Apex Legends as well. They just launched it out of nowhere. I didn't see anything else on my tweet, though, that stands out to me here. Season 1 is said to release. People are just hoping and praying it comes out day 1 of the new season. I think that's very valid as well. I think a lot of people don't want to see it come out, but I think others do. I consider it pretty done. Hope you don't need any unlocks. It'd make it too unfair, to be honest. Yeah, it would make it more like Warzone than it would like PUBG, for example. But it seems like that's the direction that they're going with this. Obviously, they brought a lot of COD guys on for this. Kirk Corcoran the second also, welcome to the squad. I got a guy that plays Labs BR. It's not ready. I was told it's got things that they're still working on. My hope with this is when it releases, it's actually in a good state and done. There's too many games, especially inside of Battle Royale, that get released too early. And then they don't become anything because of that. A good example was the last Battle Royale that these guys did, Operation Firestorm. This thing was well undercooked, and I think it was just something that they were never going to finish cooking, and so they just pushed it and called it a day. That had a lot of other problems with it as well, I will say, but in the competitive landscape of battle royales these days, if you want to actually retain players, then you need to have all of the elements there. Otherwise, people are going to play their other battle royale that already has the things from it. What's the differentiator? It's the same thing even with pretty much everything, right? You got to have something that stands out and will retain people. Now, battle royale for Battlefield theoretically would have a lot of destruction. And I think that probably would be the biggest differentiator for it. I don't know what else they could do that would be like, other games can't copy this. Player count, map size, vehicles. Fortnite has vehicles. The gunplay. Fortnite has almost the same gunplay. Not, obviously, that's third person, but I still think Fortnite, they have ways to make it first person. They still haven't done like a first person battle royale, I don't think. They have some destruction, but it's not the same destruction. Because Fortnite's based on a bloom system and first shot accuracy, first couple shot accuracy as well. Theoretically, a Battlefield battle royale is not needed. Like, if you want to keep it, to me, it would have to deliver on all the other things that the other, if they want to keep the players from it, they'd have to deliver on, they'd already have to have a ranked mode. They'd have to have, the LTMs coming out to keep people interested in it. I don't think you can necessarily compete with Fortnite. I think Fortnite, the biggest draw they would have from those type of players is that those players might just be getting more mature and growing up and want a more mature game to play. The COD players, though, like, you'd have to deliver, because I think a lot of COD players are much more competitive. I don't think that's necessarily in the same vein for Battlefield players, though. Like, I think this is going to appeal to more of the general Battle Royale player than the Battlefield player as a whole. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are bad at BR, and that's why they don't like it 100%. The thing is, BR is a different elevation of, it's a different style of game. Like, a lot of people complain. There's somebody yesterday in my chat even, he was like, yo, BRs are boring. You play for 10 minutes looting and doing nothing, and then you just die getting shot in the back. Right? That's a skill issue. If you look at somebody who knows what they're doing in a BR, or even like in a ranked playlist, that's not what's happening in any of those games. But that is the experience for a lot of people, and that's also the free game to play. So that's like the entry point for a lot of people. But typically these games, especially like if you want to get a win, there's one person that wins out of 100 that go into a game. That's a lot different than 36 people winning out of 64 people that go into a game. And 10 people on your team aren't even doing anything anyways, and they still get a win, and they feel like they did something at the bottom of the leaderboard. Sometimes they do. You know, I've flown in the jet and been at the bottom of the leaderboard, but I shut down a couple key vehicles through the game that helped me get the win. But I probably didn't have the most significant impact in that game. Whereas if you're playing solos, like you got to have a pretty big impact on that. And with that, obviously, like that's where I'm at a lot more with games. Is I like to have that's why I'm looking forward to Arc Raiders so much, though, is because I'm kind of even past a lot of the battle royales. I'm more interested in extractions and and honestly, even what's the next experience past an extraction shooter? I don't know. Because I've done a lot of extraction shooters now. They're very fun, but I like to switch between them too. Like even just playing multiplayer these past week or whatever, couple weeks, because I've got it a little early even. It's been super fun. The logic's terrible. I don't know if I have the best logic either. I don't know. That's just where I'm kind of at with it. And I don't even know if you're talking to me, but like I liked the extra intensity of one life in Battle Royale, and I still like that. At least I haven't played it for a while, but I really liked Warzone because I had like a 20-minute game where my life was more valuable in it. But that's also why like I didn't really like Rebirth. I got the nukes on the small map Rebirths, but there's so much respawning in those modes that it felt just like TDM for me. I liked the full BR, the big map better, but then, you know, we haven't really had any content for that in a long time. That's why I'm kind of more excited for it, is like I'll have some new content to play on a BR, but I don't even know if this would even hold my attention for a long time either. I don't know. Made the switch from COD to Battlefield, and I've really been enjoying the game. Think it's sweet to loot the attachments for the weapon as well. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they decide to go down that route. That would be really the more equal playing field. I do think there's more of an opportunity for that personally. Like, that's one of the things I loved about PUBG. PUBG's cosmetics and like spending thousands of dollars for a skin is not really my favorite thing, but I still like the game. And I spent a couple $100s on skins in that game. I'm like, I don't want to spend $3,000. It just kind of sucks. But that's the alternate monetary system that games seem to use if they're not going to do, you know, the pay to win model. DMZ is king. DMZ was very good. I enjoyed that a lot. But it wasn't good until a couple months after it came out and before they started making bad updates for the game and switching it to pay to win. Has Battlefield ever had a BR? They did. They did Operation Firestorm. It was in their World War II game, but you had to pay to play. It was $70 game to play, and it had a ton of problems. It was max like 64 player count. The games were slow. There's a pregame lobby of 2 minutes after waiting 5 minutes for the game to even fill. The loot system was bad. It actually is more like the Warzone loot system, but all the loot was stacked on top of each other, so you couldn't loot stuff. There was a lot of problems with it. The best part about it, though, was the destruction. But again, I don't know if just destruction alone is going to be like this. This is such a different experience that I want to play this all the time. That's why I'm saying they need to have a good launch with a plethora of offerings to keep people into the game if they want to be in it. Otherwise, I feel like at least it's going to be you're going to play it a couple times, maybe get some wins, and then what's after that? I don't know. And hopefully if they've thought of all of that. Lurch also, thank you for the sub, my good sir. Because clearly they're going for that. And, releasing a BR instead of dumping more multiplayer maps, which we are getting multiplayer maps too, which I'm excited for. I didn't play them, but I saw the gameplay of it. I watched Jack's videos and a couple other clips yesterday. We were looking at that on stream. Those new maps look sick. I do want to play them. I'm hoping we get even more of them. But like if I'm talking about the experience of a BR versus a Extraction, I almost feel like I would be more interested in playing Battlefield multiplayer with Arc Raiders. They're very different games though, and I think a lot of people aren't going to have the time for it. That's why it's a split decision. Yeah, BR would be so hard how in many covers and everything can be destroyed. Well, that is true. And a lot of stuff as well, though, they do limit so that it is indestructible. So there is still cover in locations and stuff. It's not a completely flattenable map, even if you've been playing Battlefield 6. Blurry also, thank you for the 3. Oh, man. Extraction shooters are the future, IMO. Yeah, realistically, I think most people haven't experienced an extraction shooter. Some people have given the patience to watch streamers and other people play Tarkov and games like that, and they've seen what's possible on it, but it's just never been accessible enough. And then I think there's a whole lot of people who have never even given it the time, and they're not even considering it, and they haven't seen it. But it actually is way better than they even realize. That's why I think Arc Raiders is going to do better than most people think, because if you guys remember when Marathon was coming out, everybody was saying extraction shooters are a waste of time. Extraction shooters are ass. Why is everybody making extraction shooters? These are the worst games on planet Earth. What are you guys doing? But then Arc Raiders came around and people are like, wait a second. Maybe these are cool. Maybe Marathon just wasn't a good game. And I think it was a similar formula, actually, even with Overwatch. If you guys remember that. People were like, hero shooters are cooked, man. These are the worst games ever. And then Marvel Rivals comes out, and it's like one of the top games in the world. Still doing pretty well. It's not the most popular game in the world anymore, but it did pretty damn well, and it's still got a solid audience to it. That I think it's more the game than it is the whole genre. And I feel like people are quick to just completely write off a whole genre, a whole thing, when there's still opportunity there. I kind of feel similarly even with Battle Royales. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe there is a world where this is a super sick Battle Royale and it delivers again. And we got some good feelings in a BR again, because it's so much of the essence of that has been ripped out of even COD, from that analogy, or what we were just talking about, even from PUBG to Warzone, right? In PUBG, everybody's on a level playing field. You have 100 people go in, one winner comes out, and it doesn't matter if you went and grinded the guns or you went and bought the skin and you got all the attachments for this thing that you just spent $30 on or $100 to get the full battle pass, to get all the attachments day one. You're going up against somebody who put $100 into the game. You didn't. Everybody's just on a level playing field. I think there's still an opportunity with that, with a battle royale, not even this one. I think Halo could still do something crazy too, and apparently they're going to have some new game or something coming as well. But I don't know if it's I don't know. I'm kind of personally, like, I'm more interested in multiplayer Battlefield and playing Arc Raiders right now. But that's just where I'm at and what I've been playing for the last 7 years or 5 years. Because I played some extraction shooters before Warzone came out as well. When I was playing Tarkov, was before it came out. You know? Same, y'all. So no BR. I'm going to play it. The thing is, I play all the games. I'll play it, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it. Sky Mac also dropping a gifted sub to Baby. Welcome in. Keno also 3 months on the Prime subbage. Easy peasy. 6 months on the subbage as well. Yeah. A lot of people don't think it's a good idea, but Battlefield 6 should stay away from custom loadouts and add ground loot attachments. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the ground loot attachment system. I played it in PUBG. I played it in Apex. The bag management in Apex, I think, is super annoying. I don't like it. I know it's quick. You can do it on controller. It's all right. It's a lot better than a lot of other systems that I've used. But even after playing MW2 Warzone, when they added the bag system for that one too, you can get used to it. But for example, I was playing on mouse and keyboard. I'm pretty good at mouse and keyboard. And then I started playing on controller. And the biggest hurdle that I had playing on controller was not even the shooting or even the movement. I got okay with the movement, but it was like figuring out the bags and like, okay, how do I quick drop something? How do I go into my loot and manage this? And I like to shoot more than that, at least on controller with all of that. And I think it's just an extra hurdle that I don't know if it has to be there. I don't like the idea much of the custom loadouts either. In fact, when Warzone first came out, I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And then I played it and I ended up finding it to be okay. And I did enjoy it. But even with the system with how Warzone works now, they have it so you have to go to the loadout twice. And they're getting rid of this again. But back in the day, you'd have to go to the loadout to get your perks. Then you'd go to the loadout again to get your second perk. That was really overkill, and then you'd replace it. Then if you died, you'd have to go back to your loadout again. Like, it's just so much loadout work going to your loadout versus thinking about your positioning and other things in the game, which has an element of it too. But then they changed the system so that you would have a perk package so you could pick up your perks off the ground if you died with them. They made it so you just by default had overkill. I liked that window of Warzone much better personally because I felt like I could play the game more. Now, you still had to deal with the bags and whatever, but then they reintroduced overkill again with the wild cards. And I was like, what are we doing? And there's only 2 wild cards for it as well at the beginning of it. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of all those things. I'd rather it just be simple and I could focus more on the gunplay and the gameplay. And Warzone, to be fair, too, is a lot more about movement and stuff. I'm not big into that either. I would rather it be more about the gunplay. Now, obviously, what's the input that I use? It's a mouse. So, obviously, that's not going to be my favorite game in the world. That is another avenue where it's like, all right, that's kind of exciting for me as a player because Battlefield's way better balanced for a mouse player, and it's not as much about the movement. There's still some movement for sure in this game, but even like if you want to slide cancel, it's on a cooldown in this game. You can't just keep sliding everywhere all the time. And they've already made nerfs from what the movement was. They're already slowing it down. Who's to say they don't do it more? But yeah,
My biggest thing about extraction shooters is this. The divisions which came out in 2016 with Dark Zone, which was huge at the time. Then it just died out. I'm worried that will happen with them all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ever really focused on it, though. I feel like it was a small subset of people that even got to really experience the Dark Zone. I played it. I did some YOLOs on the Dark Zone. It was crazy. It was pretty good. But they never really focused on that. Even with like Division 2 when that came out, it felt like it was more PvE focused than PvP in that game. But I don't know. Dark Zone was good though. Yeah, I like that. Andrew, thank you. Dido, also, thank you for the bits as well. Anyways, those are some of my thoughts. That's where I'm at with it prior to this coming out. You guys tell me what you think, and yeah.